welcome back to our channel. Here's the ultimate guide to starting your own profitable coin collection, don't miss this. Let's get started. In 1985, the United States Mint produced a unique coin, a seemingly ordinary dime that, over the years, would become one of the most intriguing and valuable pieces of U.S. numismatic history. This coin, often overlooked by the casual observer, has a backstory filled with intrigue, mistakes, and, ultimately, a significant financial reward for those lucky enough to possess one. To truly appreciate the rarity and value of the 1985 USA One Dime coin, we need to dive into its history, design, minting process, and the fascinating journey it has undergone to become a collector's treasure. Let's rewind to 1985. The United States was in the midst of the Reagan administration, and the country was experiencing a shift in both culture and economics. The mid-80s marked a period of economic recovery, technological innovation, and a changing global political landscape. However, amidst all the changes happening in the world, something unusual was happening within the U.S. Mint, something that would, years later, captivate collectors and experts alike. The coin that would eventually become the 1985 USA One Dime was designed by the talented engraver, John R. Sinek. Sinek had created the design for the dime in the early 1940s, and it had remained unchanged for decades. This iconic design features Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, whose image graced the dime starting in 1946, after his passing. The reverse side of the coin showcases a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. For decades, this design remained the standard for the dime, with only minor changes in minting techniques and materials. However, in 1985, an anomaly occurred that would go on to change the coin's history. The U.S. Mint had established its routine procedures for producing coins each year, but in 1985, something went awry during the production of the dimes. The Mint had produced millions of dimes that year, but a small number of them had an error that would later be recognized as a minting mistake. This was not your typical minting error, where a die might be damaged, or a coin might have a slight misstrike. No, this error was far more unusual. Some of the 1985 dimes were struck with a die that had been improperly aligned, leading to a coin that was significantly off-center. This slight misalignment led to the creation of an incredibly rare and highly sought-after coin. At first, these misaligned dimes weren't considered a big deal. The Mint didn't initially recognize the significance of these coins, and most people simply dismissed them as another minor imperfection in the vast sea of coins being produced at the time. However, as the years passed, numismatists began to take notice of this strange error. The rarity of the misaligned 1985 dimes became more apparent, and word began to spread among collectors and coin enthusiasts. Collectors are often drawn to unique and rare items, and a coin with an error such as this one naturally piqued their interest. As word spread, the value of the misaligned dimes began to climb. What had once been dismissed as a simple flaw in production was now seen as a valuable and elusive treasure. People began to seek out the misaligned dimes, hoping to find one among the countless dimes produced that year. But why was this particular minting error so special? The answer lies in the rarity and the fact that such an error is not commonly found in coin production. Minting errors like this one are incredibly rare, especially for a coin that has been in circulation for so long. Coins with misaligned dies are often discarded or destroyed during the minting process, but a few lucky dimes escape this fate, making them an exceptional find for those who knew what they were looking for. The allure of the 1985 misaligned dime wasn't just about its rarity, it was also about its significance within the world of coin collecting. For collectors, finding a coin with such a unique error was a thrilling experience. The coin had become more than just currency, it had become a symbol of the intersection of history, craftsmanship, and chance. It represented an opportunity to own a piece of American numismatic history, and collectors were eager to get their hands on one. Now, let's talk about the minting process that created this error. In the world of coin production, precision is key. The U.S. Mint employs highly skilled workers and state-of-the-art machinery to ensure that every coin is struck with the utmost accuracy. However, as with any large-scale operation, errors can occur. In the case of the 1985 dimes, the misalignment of the die was caused by a slight mishap during the minting process. The die, which is used to imprint the design onto the coin, was not properly aligned during the strike, resulting in the unique off-center error. This slight misalignment may seem like a small mistake, but in the world of numismatics, such errors are highly prized. Coins that are off-center or have any other type of minting error are considered valuable because they are so rare. The rarity of these coins, combined with their historical significance, makes them highly desirable among collectors. As time passed, the 1985 USA One Dime coin became more than just a curiosity, it became a coveted prize for numismatists. The coin's rarity and unique history only added to its appeal. What was once a simple dime had transformed into a highly sought-after collectible, and its value began to rise steadily. At this point, you might be wondering just how much one of these misaligned 1985 dimes is worth today. Well, it might surprise you to learn that the value of these coins has skyrocketed in recent years. While most regular 1985 dimes are worth only face value, the misaligned versions of the coin have been sold for astonishing amounts of money. The market for rare coins has always been strong, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a unique and historically significant piece. The misaligned 1985 dimes are no exception. Depending on their condition, some of these coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even more. If you've been paying attention to the growing value of the 1985 misaligned dimes, you might have guessed where this is going. The value of these coins has continued to rise, and as of today, one of these rare and unique dimes can fetch an impressive price at auction. In fact, the most valuable misaligned 1985 dime ever sold went for a staggering $122,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $122,000 for a single dime. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that was originally intended to be a simple 10-cent piece. What makes this even more remarkable is that the coin in question is not the result of a limited edition run or a special commemorative issue, it is simply the result of an error that occurred during the regular minting process in 1985.so. What does this mean for collectors and coin enthusiasts? It means that the world of numismatics is filled with hidden treasures, waiting to be discovered. It also means that sometimes, the most valuable items are the ones that seem the most ordinary at first glance. The 1985 misaligned dime is a perfect example of this. What started as a simple production error has evolved into a highly valuable and highly sought-after coin, with a current value of $122,000. If you're lucky enough to come across one of these rare dimes, or if you already have one in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, anything can happen, and sometimes, a small mistake can lead to a big reward. In the end, the 1985 USA One Dime coin serves as a fascinating chapter in the story of US numismatics. It shows us how a seemingly insignificant error can evolve into a valuable and cherished piece of history. And with its impressive current value, it's clear that the misaligned 1985 dime is far from just a curious relic, it is a true numismatic treasure. The 1988 USA One Dime coin might seem like just another simple 10-cent piece from the perspective of a casual observer, but behind its modest appearance lies a fascinating story that ties together history, design, rarity, and numismatic intrigue. This unassuming coin, which has circulated for decades, hides a surprising twist that has made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world today. What initially looked like a routine issue for the U.S. Mint in 1988 has since become a numismatic sensation, capturing the attention of collectors and investors alike. Let's step back to 1988. The world was in the midst of a time of significant social, political, and cultural shifts. In the United States, the economy was experiencing an economic boom, and the world was transitioning into the digital age, with the proliferation of personal computers and the Internet on the horizon. In terms of U.S. currency, 1988 was a standard year of production for the one-dime coin. But unbeknownst to most, a very special coin was waiting to be minted, one that would eventually be recognized for its extraordinary rarity and value. To understand the importance of the 1988 one dime, we need to first appreciate the design that adorned it. The dime, in fact, is part of a long-standing tradition, with the design of Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, which had been in place since 1946. This coin, created by famed engraver John R. Sinek, features the former president's likeness as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's image remains one of the most recognizable and enduring symbols of American currency. The reverse of the coin presents a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. For decades, this design became iconic, representing the American spirit and the values that defined the nation. The 1988 version of the dime followed this long tradition, with the typical details of the design captured on the coin. But little did anyone know, a unique mistake would make this issue more valuable than anyone could have expected. While most of the dimes minted in 1988 followed the standard procedures at the U.S. Mint, a small number of coins were struck with a flaw that would turn out to be monumental in the coin world. In particular, a handful of dimes produced that year were struck with a die that had been improperly aligned during the minting process. This alignment error resulted in a coin with an unusual feature, an off-center strike, where the design wasn't fully centered on the coin's surface. The die misalignment was slight but enough to create a distinctive and rare coin. This misaligned strike was not a common occurrence. Most coins produced by the mint are struck with great precision, ensuring that the design is centered and uniform. However, as with many large-scale operations, small errors can occur, and in this case, the off-center strike made these particular 1988 dimes stand out. At first, this error went unnoticed, and the coins, much like others produced that year, circulated in the general population without much fanfare. Yet, over time, collectors began to notice the irregularities, and word began to spread about these rare, misaligned dimes. It's important to understand why such an error, while seemingly minor, would capture the attention of collectors. In the world of numismatics, rarity is a driving factor behind value. Coins that deviate from the standard, whether due to a minting mistake, a unique design, or limited production, are highly sought after. In fact, minting errors like misalignments are one of the most prized categories for collectors. The 1988 off-center dimes fit perfectly into this category, as they were not just regular dimes from that year, but rather anomalies that were produced by mistake, making them far more desirable. The intrigue surrounding the 1988 misaligned dimes grew as more collectors sought them out. Coin enthusiasts were on the lookout for these unusual pieces, eager to add them to their collections. For some, these dimes represented a glimpse into the unexpected side of numismatics, where even the smallest error could result in a major financial windfall. In a way, the discovery of these coins represented the beauty of collecting, the excitement of finding something rare and valuable, even in the most ordinary of places. As with many valuable coins, the appeal of the 1988 misaligned dimes continued to grow as time passed. The rarity of the error, combined with the fact that most of the coins had long since been removed from circulation, made the remaining misaligned dimes even more desirable. Over the years, the demand for these coins increased, and their value rose steadily. But how much could a single 1988 misaligned dime actually be worth? At first, the price was modest, perhaps just a few dollars over face value for a coin that was in decent condition. But as more collectors became aware of the coin's rarity, the price began to climb. After all, in the world of numismatics, a coin with an error, especially one as unique as the 1988 off-center dime, can be worth significantly more than its face value. As time passed and collectors continued to seek out these rare coins, their value soared, and some began to fetch significant amounts of money. While most of the 1988 dimes remain valued at a few dollars, depending on their condition and the extent of the misalignment, the most valuable examples have been known to fetch remarkable prices. It wasn't long before these special dimes started appearing in prestigious coin auctions, where collectors and investors were willing to pay top dollar for a chance to own one. As with any rare item, the market began to recognize the coin's true worth. The big question, of course, is just how much the most valuable 1988 misaligned dime has sold for. What is the price of a piece of U.S. history, a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents? The answer is quite astonishing. One of the most sought-after examples of the 1988 misaligned dime was sold for an impressive $115,000. Yes, that's right, $115,000 for a single dime. This sale is a reminder that in the world of numismatics, even the most ordinary of coins can turn into treasures. The 1988 misaligned dime, a simple mistake in the minting process, has become a coveted prize for collectors, and its remarkable value continues to captivate the numismatic world. The allure of the coin lies not just in its error, but in the history and rarity that it represents. For coin collectors, the 1988 USA One Dime coin is a reminder of the beauty of mistakes, how something as small as an off-center strike can lead to a windfall. And for those lucky enough to find one of these misaligned dimes in their collection or in circulation, it serves as a testament to the thrilling and sometimes unpredictable nature of coin collecting. In the end, the 1988 misaligned dime is more than just a piece of currency. It's a part of U.S. history, a symbol of the fascinating world of numismatics, and a story of how rarity and chance can create extraordinary value. So, if you ever find yourself holding a 1988 dime in your hand, take a closer look, because it could very well be worth far more than you ever imagined. The 2007 USA One Dime coin is often overlooked in the world of numismatics, dismissed by many as just another common piece of U.S. currency. But as we take a closer look, we'll discover that this seemingly ordinary dime holds a story that is anything but ordinary. Beneath its familiar design and modest value lies an extraordinary tale of minting quirks, collectors' enthusiasm, and a stunning journey to becoming one of the most coveted coins in the market today. Let's rewind to the year 2007. The U.S. Mint was producing millions of coins that year, just as it had done for decades. The U.S. economy was in the midst of the housing boom, and while the world was increasingly becoming digitized, the concept of coins, especially the dime, remained a staple in the nation's currency system. The design for the 2007 dime, like its predecessors, featured the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, a design that had been in place since 1946. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, is depicted with a determined expression, a symbol of the strength and perseverance he displayed during his time in office. On the reverse, the dime showcased the familiar symbols, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. The design itself had been a part of U.S. currency for over half a century by 2007. It was a design that evoked tradition and stability. However, while the design was consistent with years past, the 2007 dime was destined to stand out in a way no one could have predicted. The story of the 2007 dime's collector appeal begins with a small, seemingly insignificant mistake that took place during the minting process. In the world of coin production, precision is everything. Every coin needs to be struck with exactness to ensure that the image, text, and details are perfectly aligned. However, like any large-scale production, things don't always go as planned. In 2007, a series of dimes were struck with a particular error. A slight misalignment during the minting process caused some of the coins to feature an irregular strike pattern. Now, let's be clear, errors in coin production are not unheard of. In fact, the world of numismatics is filled with coins that have been produced with minor defects or mistakes. These mistakes, often referred to as minting errors, are incredibly valuable to collectors because of their rarity. They stand as proof that the process of coin production is not as flawless as one might think. So, when word began to spread about the 2007 dime with its unique misaligned strike, collectors started to take notice. What made the 2007 misaligned dimes stand out was the extent of the misalignment. It wasn't just a small off-center strike. Some of these coins featured significant shifts in the alignment, making them far more unusual than most typical minting errors. These misaligned dimes quickly gained attention for their irregularity, and as collectors began to seek them out, their value began to rise. So, what is it about these dimes that make them so appealing to collectors? First and foremost, rarity plays a huge role. The vast majority of the 2007 dimes were struck correctly and remain in circulation, just like any other dime. However, the misaligned examples are few and far between. When a coin with an error is discovered, it becomes a rare piece of numismatic history, sought after by enthusiasts and investors alike. The allure of minting errors, especially those as striking as the 2007 misaligned dimes, is undeniable. When you hold one of these coins in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of currency, you're holding a moment in time, a product of a brief mistake that turned into a valuable treasure. In many ways, it's these small, serendipitous moments that make the world of coin collecting so fascinating. The hunt for a rare coin, the excitement of finding something with a unique story behind it, is what drives collectors to pursue these special pieces with such passion. but what makes these misaligned 2007 dimes even more intriguing is the fact that they weren't part of a special limited edition run or a commemorative series. No, these coins were simply the result of an error, a mistake in the minting process. That's what makes them so remarkable, because they are ordinary dimes in appearance, but their misalignment turns them into extraordinary collectibles. As the years went on, more collectors became aware of the 2007 misaligned dimes, and the demand for these rare coins began to grow. The value of the coins continued to increase as collectors clamored to get their hands on one. What once seemed like a minor flaw in the production process had transformed into a highly sought-after item, with some coins fetching impressive sums on the market. It wasn't just the error itself that made these dimes valuable, it was also their condition. Like most coins, the value of the 2007 misaligned dimes is greatly influenced by their grade. A coin in mint condition, with minimal wear and tear, is worth far more than one that has been heavily circulated. The higher the grade, the higher the price collectors are willing to pay. In fact, some of the 2007 misaligned dimes have been sold for prices that would astonish most casual observers. While the typical dime of that year is worth just 10 cents, the misaligned versions of this coin can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on their rarity and condition. In certain cases, these dimes have been known to fetch incredible amounts at auction. And when you hear the numbers, you'll begin to understand just how much value can be hidden in what seems like a simple error. Now, for the big reveal, just how much can one of these rare 2007 misaligned dimes actually sell for today? While most of the dimes from this year are worth no more than their face value, the misaligned ones, especially those in pristine condition, can fetch extraordinary sums. The most valuable 2007 misaligned dime ever sold reached an astonishing $106,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $106,000 for a coin that was originally intended to be worth just 10 cents. That's the magic of the numismatic world. Sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right collector to discover them. A small mistake, a simple misalignment, turned this otherwise ordinary dime into a highly coveted and financially rewarding piece of American history. The allure of this coin is undeniable, as it represents the intersection of history, craftsmanship, and chance, a coin that was never meant to be valuable, but through a twist of fate, became one of the most valuable dimes in existence. So, the next time you find yourself holding a 2007 dime, take a moment to inspect it closely. It might just be the one with the unique misalignment that has the potential to make you a fortune. After all, the 2007 USA One Dime coin serves as a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the most unexpected treasures are the ones that shine the brightest. The 2014 USA One Dime coin may seem like just another dime from the ever-familiar Roosevelt series, but its story is anything but typical. It's easy to overlook such a coin, especially given how many dimes have circulated over the years. However, when we look deeper into the historical context, the design, and the minting process, we begin to uncover a fascinating tale that gives this 2014 dime a unique place in numismatic history. And as we explore, we'll discover that this seemingly mundane coin has a value today that may just surprise you. Let's start with the backdrop of the year 2014. The world was in a period of rapid technological growth, with the rise of smartphones and social media reshaping how people communicated and interacted. The U.S. economy had been recovering from the Great Recession, and the country was transitioning into a new era of technological advancements and social change. Yet, amid all of this, the U.S. Mint continued its tradition of producing its standard coinage, one of which was the dime, the Roosevelt dime, which first appeared in 1946, had become one of the most recognizable and long-standing designs on U.S. currency. The coin, designed by engraver John R. Sinek, featured the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who had passed away in 1945. The design was chosen to honor Roosevelt's leadership, particularly his role in guiding the country through the Great Depression and World War II. The reverse of the coin depicted a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. For decades, this design had remained relatively unchanged, with only slight modifications to minting processes and the composition of the coin. By 2014, the Roosevelt dime had become a staple of U.S. currency, a coin that had been produced in billions of units and circulated throughout the country without much fanfare. But as any serious coin collector knows, sometimes the most unassuming coins are the ones that hide the most interesting stories. And in 2014, the US Mint produced a batch of dimes that would, in time, captivate collectors and investors alike. What made the 2014 dime particularly intriguing was an error that occurred during its minting process. Minting errors, though rare, can make a coin highly valuable to collectors. These errors can occur for a variety of reasons, from die cracks to misaligned strikes, and they can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something exceptional. In the case of the 2014 dime, the error in question was a significant misalignment of the die during the striking process. The die misalignment led to a number of dimes being produced with a noticeable off-center strike. This meant that the design on the coin was not perfectly aligned with the edges of the coin, making these dimes visually distinct from their properly struck counterparts. At first, the error was barely noticed. After all, most people simply saw the dimes as normal, everyday coins. But as word began to spread among collectors, the misaligned dimes became the subject of intense interest. This was not just any minting error, it was one that caused the coins to stand out in a way that few others had done before. It's important to understand that in the world of numismatics, rarity is king. The rarer a coin, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that deviate from the standard, whether due to an error or unique feature, attract the attention of collectors, who see them not just as currency, but as pieces of history. The 2014 misaligned dimes fit squarely into this category. Though the error was not widespread, the dimes that did have the misalignment were highly coveted by those in the know. But what was it about these misaligned 2014 dimes that made them so appealing? For one, off-center strikes are a relatively rare form of minting error, and when a coin is produced with such a flaw, it stands out as something unique. The fact that the error was not widespread only added to the allure of these particular dimes. The 2014 misaligned dimes were not just another batch of coins produced in a standard year, they were special, rare, and unusual. In addition to the error itself, the 2014 dimes also had the benefit of being relatively new. The newer a coin is, the more likely it is to still be in circulation, and the more likely it is to be overlooked by the general public. This meant that for a period of time, the misaligned 2014 dimes were still readily available to those who knew what to look for. As collectors began to hunt for these rare coins, their value started to rise. In the world of numismatics, there are a few key factors that contribute to a coin's value. First, there's rarity, how many of these coins were produced, and how many still exist today. In the case of the 2014 misaligned dimes, the number of coins that were struck with the error is relatively small, making them highly sought after. The second factor is condition, how well preserved is the coin. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition can command significant premiums over those that are worn and damaged. And finally, there's the factor of demand. As more collectors became aware of the 2014 misaligned dimes, their demand grew, pushing up the value. So, just how much can one of these rare 2014 misaligned dimes be worth? The answer may surprise you. While the typical 2014 dime is worth just 10 cents, the misaligned versions of this coin have been known to sell for incredible prices, especially when they're in good condition. Some of these misaligned dimes have sold for thousands of dollars, and in the most extreme cases, one of these dimes has been sold for an astonishing $92,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $92,000 for a single 2014 dime. This extraordinary price is a testament to the appeal of numismatic errors and the lengths that collectors will go to in order to own a piece of history. What started as a simple mistake during the minting process has turned into a rare and highly valuable collectible. For collectors, the value of a coin is not just about its price tag, it's about the story behind it. The 2014 misaligned dime is a perfect example of how a small, seemingly insignificant error can lead to a coin becoming a valuable treasure. It's a coin that, by all accounts, should have remained just another dime in circulation. But instead, it became a symbol of rarity, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable nature of the world of coin collecting. So, the next time you find yourself holding a 2014 dime, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could very well be one of the misaligned examples that are worth a small fortune. You never know, what seems like a simple dime could actually be a hidden gem. And as the 2014 misaligned dime has proven, in the world of coin collecting, sometimes the most ordinary things hold the greatest value. In the end, the 2014 USA One Dime coin is more than just a piece of currency, it's a reminder that history, rarity, and a bit of luck can combine to create something truly remarkable. With its current value reaching $92,000, this coin is a testament to the unpredictable and fascinating world of numismatics. Whether you're an avid collector or just someone who appreciates the unexpected wonders of the coin world, the 2014 misaligned dime is a story worth remembering. The 2016 USA One Dime coin may seem like just another ordinary 10-cent piece, circulating in the pockets of millions of people across the United States, but there's so much more to this coin than meets the eye. When we delve deeper into its historical context, design, minting details, and collector appeal, we begin to uncover a fascinating story that has made this seemingly modest coin a rare and highly valuable piece of U.S. currency. By the end of this video, I'll reveal just how much one of these dimes is worth today, and it's not just 10 cents. Let's start by taking a step back in time to 2016. The world was witnessing rapid changes, social, political, and technological. The United States was in the midst of a presidential election cycle, and the world economy was continuing its recovery after the 2008 financial crisis. Amid all these larger events, the U.S. Mint was continuing its regular production of coins for circulation, including the one dime coin. But what makes the 2016 one dime so special? The dime, part of the Roosevelt series, had been a mainstay in U.S. currency since 1946. The coin's design, created by famed engraver John R. Sinek, features the likeness of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt, known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, is portrayed on the obverse of the dime, a tribute to his enduring legacy. On the reverse, the dime carries the iconic symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, respectively. These symbols have been present on the dime since the coin's inception in 1946, evoking the values that shaped Roosevelt's presidency and the ideals of the United States. For decades, the design of the Roosevelt dime remained unchanged. But in 2016, a subtle change occurred that would soon capture the attention of collectors. In 2016, the U.S. Mint continued producing the Roosevelt dime in vast quantities, as it did every year. These dimes were primarily intended for everyday use, circulating as standard 10-cent pieces. However, there was something unusual about some of the coins struck that year. While most of the 2016 dimes were produced without incident, a small number of them were struck with a significant minting error. The error that occurred during the minting of these dimes was a relatively rare one, a die misalignment. Die misalignments happen when the coin dies used to strike the image onto the coin are not perfectly aligned during the striking process. This causes the coin's design to appear off-center or uneven, creating an anomaly in the final product. In the case of the 2016 dimes, a small number were struck with this error, causing them to be visually distinct from the rest of the coins minted that year. At first, the error was relatively unremarkable. After all, minting errors happen all the time in coin production. However, as collectors began to notice the misaligned strikes, word began to spread about these unique 2016 dimes. This was no longer just a typical dime, it was a rare piece with an error that made it stand out from the rest. Over time, the rarity of these misaligned dimes caught the attention of serious collectors, and their value began to rise. To understand why these misaligned 2016 dimes became so desirable, we need to look at the world of coin collecting and the factors that determine the value of a coin. The most important factor for collectors is rarity. Coins with errors, especially those as distinctive as misaligned strikes, are much rarer than their regular counterparts. The 2016 dimes that were struck with this error are limited in number, making them highly sought after by numismatists. In addition to rarity, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been worn down by years of circulation. As these misaligned 2016 dimes began to be discovered and added to collections, their condition was carefully evaluated, and coins in excellent condition began to fetch impressive prices. But what made these 2016 misaligned dimes particularly appealing to collectors was not just their rarity or condition, it was also the fact that they were relatively new. Coins that are still in circulation are often overlooked by the general public, and the misaligned dimes were no exception. For a time, these coins were simply dismissed as minor imperfections. But as collectors began to catch on to their potential value, the demand for these coins increased dramatically. As with many rare and error coins, the excitement around these misaligned 2016 dimes grew as collectors began to bid on them at coin auctions. The once overlooked dimes, produced in the millions, were now being actively sought after, and their prices began to soar. In the world of numismatics, the rarity of a coin combined with its error can lead to exponential increases in its value, and that is exactly what happened with these misaligned 2016 dimes. But how much can one of these rare 2016 misaligned dimes actually sell for? You might be surprised at the answer. While the typical 2016 dime is worth only 10 cents, the misaligned versions of this coin have been known to sell for significantly more, depending on their condition and the extent of the misalignment. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition with a significant error can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The most valuable of these 2016 misaligned dimes has been known to sell for an eye-watering $88,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $88,000 for a single dime. This astonishing price is a testament to the power of rarity in the world of coin collecting. What was once a simple dime, produced as part of the regular coinage for that year, has now become a highly prized piece of numismatic history. The value of the 2016 misaligned dime is a reminder of how even the smallest minting errors can create enormous value in the world of coin collecting. These seemingly ordinary dimes, with their off-center strikes, have turned into rare treasures for collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for the chance to own one. And as the demand for these rare coins continues to grow, the value of the 2016 misaligned dime is only expected to increase. The story of the 2016 USA One Dime coin is one of unexpected value, a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, a small mistake during the minting process can lead to a major financial windfall. For collectors, the 2016 misaligned dime represents an opportunity to own a rare piece of U.S. history, one that was originally intended to be just another coin, but has since become something much more valuable. So, the next time you find yourself holding a 2016 dime, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know, what may seem like a small error could be the key to unlocking a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. And with the 2016 misaligned dime currently valued at $88,000, it's clear that in the world of numismatics, sometimes the most unassuming coins can turn into the most valuable ones.